And so kind of a little bit of a short notice thing for you here, huh? Or was it just short notice in terms of when us people in the media found out about it?
Yeah, we knew it was coming up.
You knew it was in the works?
Yeah, so it was just one of those things where opponents changed once, twice. I was looking at October, and then this is what they came up with.
New contract too, though, right?
Yep. So we've been going back and forth and figured that out. And both sides are happy. So
was that part of the, I guess, a little bit of the downtime? I mean, it's been a couple minutes since we've seen it, but was that all stuff that was in the works? And
yeah.
How frustrating is that for you when that stuff's all going on, and how much do you have a part in that, and how much of it is, like your manager and stuff?
Obviously I'm not a lawyer, so that's why you have a manager and that's why you pay him, is you let them take care of that. And, it sucks sitting around, especially the last fight I wasn't hurt at all. And so I was, we're looking to go, and we kind of looked at June, July, and then contract wasn't up and we couldn't come to terms, and so then finally we got the new contract signed and was hoping for September, and then it got pushed to October, and then November, whatever. It's fight week, we're here.
Right,
and
sure.
so
You're here now, ready to rock, ready to stay unbeaten. Talk to me about, I guess, sort of the preparations coming into this week and just how you're feeling overall. I mean, we talked about a little bit of a lull, so did you find ways to make that work to your advantage and kind of maybe feel a little bit more hungry than you would have otherwise if you were getting back in there after 3 months?
Yeah, I'm at one of the best gyms in the world, with Robbie and Kamaru and Michael Johnson and all these guys, Jason Jackson, some of the best guys in the world. And so you're always helping these guys get ready for their fights. And I was kind of in camp getting ready for September, and so I was training the whole time. And so it is kind of nice because you don't worry about one specific opponent. It's not that you change everything, but now you just kind of get to play and see things and try some different things and learn a lot. So I went right back to Florida right away, and I've been there since February, really. And so it was just a lot of time getting better and improving skills and getting stronger and faster and becoming a better athlete as well. And so all those things, are things I got to improve on.
Talk to me a little bit about E.J. Brooks and sort of what he brings to the table, what you've been able to see. I know he's got a couple nice names on his resume in terms of guys that he's fought. But, what have you seen about him and sort of what he's going to probably bring to the table on Friday night?
He's a former Division I wrestler, and, he's a good athlete, and he's kind of hard to score on, with punches and with takedowns and things like that. He's a tough fighter, and he has a lot of good wins, and he has a good record and has a lot of experience. So it's one of those things where we're prepared for all those things, and if the takedown's hard to come by right away, then we fall back on our striking. So.
Do you start thinking about things like where a win over a guy like him puts you, I guess, sort of in the division?
No.
Is that something you ever think about?
No, because you get in trouble when you start doing those things, and people have asked me all these other fights, and where do you want to do it? Where do you want to be in the end of the year? And I got to take care of Friday, and I say it over and over, and it's boring, and it's, the same kind of interview, but that's how you have to take care of, your career, is it's one fight at a time. You start looking ahead, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you take a bad loss, and, you can't get ahead of yourself, and you just got to be prepared for Friday night. We'll take care of that, and then we'll go from there, so.
I'm sure you've seen that happen too with guys, here in this company, not going to name drop anybody, but I'm sure you've seen guys who are highly touted and then suddenly there's a shocking loss and it sets them back quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where, you just get best prepared that I can. I'm going to go in there and compete at 100% and, let it take care of itself. But looking beyond this fight, it's silly. You don't do that. You take it one fight at a time, one match at a time in wrestling. You don't start looking at who you're going to have in the finals when you're in the first round.
How was it at all frustrating to not be a part of the tournament that just went on, or when it got started, were you not at a position yet in your career here where, or maybe that would have been the best situation?
I'm a competitor. I think I can beat anybody, and I think any fighter who is, a competitor thinks that they can beat anyone. But I listened to my management, and I was still in my first contract, and so that was kind of a, we tried to work some things out, and we talked about it, and they talked to me about being in the tournament, and it just never worked for both sides what we wanted, and so that's just, it is what it is. You know, I got good experience fighting tough guys that fought. You know, Pascu was a tough guy who fought a lot of guys that were in 2 or 3 guys that were in the tournament. You know, and so I fought a lot of tough guys along the way, and I learned a lot and got to improve and just keep building my record and building on my skills.
Like you said, that you're not looking ahead past this fight on Friday, but all those guys who were just in the tournament, all of them except for one are coming off losses, and those are all going to be guys that are going to be there for you down the road. So I mean, is that something you take a little comfort in too, knowing that no matter what happens from this point on, the bigger names are going to be right there for you to be able to go up against the next year or so?
Yeah, of course. It's all these guys are coming off of losses, and we're all kind of scattered in that top 10, top 15, and so there's going to be big fights available. And so the biggest thing for me is take care of Friday, go in there and just show my dominant wrestling and my aggressive style, and just push forward, push the pace. And that's what a lot of people don't want to fight that hard, and keep such a high pace and work that hard. So that's my biggest goal, is just go in there and be impressive on Friday and go from there.
Does feel like a pretty fun time to be in your division here, though, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of great fighters and a lot of opportunities, for these upcoming fights.